bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. How you doing? All right. Let's go. Today's Wednesday, September 12th, 2018. 258 days into the new year, just 107 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? You check out my shirt. Can you see it? Hold on. That's what I'm talking about. Hide and seek world champion. All right. Here we go. We got a great show lined up for tonight. Kelly Sullivan Walden will join us to discuss your dreams. She is the dream expert. And we're also going to take your phone calls all night long. So there you go. That's tonight. Tomorrow is another Fader night with open lines all night long. We got John Rappaport here, who is in the line of fire with Hurricane Florence. So we'll be getting a live update with all of that. And he will be here, of course, with his No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by open lines all night long. It has been an insane week for this community, and it's been a great week on the show. But lots going on right now. We'll talk about all of that in just a bit. Now, my article over at OnStellar about the Solar Observatory, the National Solar Observatory, is up. You can go and check it out. I posted it up on Twitter and got it out on social media. It's up on Facebook too as well. Sending everybody over to OnStellar to read it. This is a breaking story. It's very fluid. And I will be addressing all of that. OnStellar.com is the place to be. Of course, Twitter at JChurchRadio. Facebook, YouTube, follow, like, and subscribe. And at JChurchRadio is where we hang out during the show. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. And, of course, hashtag F2BQ is Fade to Black Questions. And we have two chat rooms open, always. One over at Spreaker, which is right here, and of course one over at KGRA, the Planet. And if you want to go hang out in the chat rooms, you can do that, or you can hashtag F2B and join the conversation right here in the sandbox. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. And today I got Bulent Hassan sent me his graphic novel series, right? It's called Black Project. And here it is. Here's all three, all signed and autographed. Really amazing work. And I'm just going to hold this up for the camera. You can see. Just check this out. I'm just open up a page. Look, just amazing printing. And thank you, Busan, not only for Boulant for signing these and autographing them, but sending them with a very nice letter. I just can't believe it. They are just beautiful. So we're going to probably have him on the show very soon, and we'll discuss the release of his new project. And there you go, In the Bunker. Also, Mate Meyer sent me a really cool 1965 Mustang GT350R and white with blue stripes. And I posted pictures of that today, too, as well. So the bunker's getting full. And this was sent to me, too, as well. The Bigfoot hide-and-seek world champion shirt. Got that, too, as well. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like it when gifts arrive. And, there was actually more. Okay, I'll do that tomorrow night. Let's get to this breaking news. All right, so a fast radio burst from a dwarf galaxy 3 billion light years away is repeating its signal. That's right. That's the headline that I broke last night on the show, and it's a big deal, right? Well, things have continued to spiral out of control. Although I reported that headline last night, SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, also uses the National Solar Observatory, the very same observatory that was raided, shut down, and evacuated last week by the FBI. The entire facility has been surrounded by police tapes, and techs working at the observatory were contacted. I have an insider over there. I do. Who said that there was a security risk in the area, and we were told to leave and don't come back until we are told to. Now, a statement was made by the Otero County Sheriff, and I'm quoting, "The FBI is refusing to tell us what's going on. We got people up there, the observatory, that requested us to stand by while they evacuated. Nobody would really elaborate on any of the circumstances as to why the FBI were up there. What their purposes were, nobody will say." The OCS also said that there are Black Hawk helicopters at the site. This is the county sheriff circling overhead, and that crews were on the towers and around the antennas, and added that the sheriff's office was not part of the investigation. Now, additionally, at the same time, solar space cams, webcams, were all taken offline at the same time as the National Solar Observatory evacuation from observatories positioned around the world. Those include the Axis 2320 Network Dome camera in Sydney, Australia, the SOAR Observatory in Chile, the BRT Tenerife Telescope in Spain, the Mauna Kea Observatory in Hilo, Hawaii, the Canada-France-Hawaii Telescope in Hawaii, and the JAT Observatory in Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania. What is going on? This is a very interesting, fluid, breaking story. We are on it. I've got details that are coming into me right now. And as things develop, I will report them to you. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have everything up right there. Just click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. It's just $2 per month. You can also become a Fade or Not over in our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Very simple enough to do. And don't forget to check out all of our sponsors by clicking on their banners at jimmychurchradio.com. Okay? Now, let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Drumming god Neil Peart is 66 years old. Now, when I talk about Neil, I've only got to say one thing. One. The first side of 2112. That is all. That's it. That's, sure, there's everything, Rush, the Pink album, right? You can, whatever, pick out an album, Exit Stage Left, right? Okay, all right, just pick one. It signals. I get all that. 2112. Okay, all right. 66. Unbelievable. Our dead guy's birthday today is, I need a moment of silence, please, for Mr. Paul Walker. 1973 to 2013, died at the age of 40. Paul won the 2001 Hollywood Breakthrough Award for the new male style maker for his performance as Brian O'Connor in The Fast and the Furious. That's right. He went back and did 5 Fast and the Furious sequels, and also starred in the films Varsity Blues, Pleasantville, and The Lazarus Project. And wasn't he in Skull and Bones, too? I think he was. I think he was in Skull and Bones. Tragically died right here in Southern California up in Santa Clarita back in November 2013. Happy birthday today to Paul Walker. On this day in history, big one, 1940, one of the biggest. That's right. The Lascaux cave paintings are discovered in France by 4 teenagers who stumbled upon the ancient artwork after following their dog down a narrow entrance into a cavern. Unbelievable what is down there. And, some say, it's the greatest prehistoric art of all. You know what? It's some of the greatest art, period, on this planet. That's right. 15 to 17,000 years old. And it happened on this day in 1940. Makes you wonder how much more there is to discover, right? Right there, too, in that valley. All right. Fate or fact. Right now, there are over 1 million dogs in the United States named as the heirs of their owners' wills. Right now in the United States. Seriously. Need to think about that. Tonight, very special guest Kelly Sullivan Walden is here. We're going to talk dreams all night long because she is the dreams expert. So we're going to go through it. We're going to take all of your phone calls tonight, and we're going to discuss every aspect of it. And one of the things that I want to jump into tonight is, have you had a dream that didn't finish? I want to hear about it. Okay? I want to hear about the dream that didn't finish, and let's see what Kelly has to say about it. And we're going to do all of that at the bottom of the hour. And tomorrow night, John Rappaport's going to be here. It's Fader Night, open lines all night long with his No More Fake Newsroom Live. I think tomorrow night, also, Chris O'Brien is going to be here for our news segment for his announcement of the scientific kind and UFOs. So that'll be tomorrow night. All right, now, let's get to this. This needs to be discussed. So, the National Solar Observatory has been shut down by the FBI. Okay? This is a fact. Evacuated, taped off. The workers there, as well as the local post office, were told to leave and not to come back. They would let them know. It's not a joke. But you need to stop and really think about what's going on. And it reminds me of the movie Contact with Jodie Foster. Now, think about that, right? She works at the radio telescope, right? She works for SETI. It was another name. Maybe they use SETI. I don't remember. And they make contact, right? Alien signals were received. Excitement, right? And what happens? The man showed up and shut everything down. Can't make an announcement. We can't let people know. Everybody's going to freak out. That's exactly what happened. That's what's playing out right now. The man, right? Now, I'm not saying, although I just did, I'm not saying that this is what is going on right now in New Mexico. But We've got webcams shut down all over the world from various observatories, all happening at the same time. Could something be happening? Could something be happening right now with respect to some type of contact? And my answer to that is absolutely. Of course, it's possible. One thing is for sure. Nobody is saying anything. And if it had anything to do with E.T., I am sure that's the first thing the man would say, that it has nothing to do with E.T. Right? We've got food poisoning going on, right? We've got sickness. We've got radioactive material missing from the observatory. It's stolen. We had packages delivered to the post office that had white powder in it, and it made its way up to the observatory. So we got to shut everything down, right? No hazmat, nothing like that going on. But I'm saying if it was something else, we would know. Now, let's take another look at this situation. I mean, the question of it being terror-related, it's an interesting one, and it's possible. But why? Why, if it's terror-related, why is the post office involved? That's the first thing, right? Is there an employee that is involved here? I don't know. But this is where I just got to go straight. By all accounts right now, I think that the employees of both the observatories and the post office would say something. Because if it was benign, right, for whatever reason, for whatever, stolen property, I don't know. Why is the FBI involved? Federal program, I guess. I don't know. But if it was just something that was not that big of a deal, wouldn't they say something? Hey, this is what's going on. We had to pull in the FBI and get them involved because this happened and this happened. Maybe they found a body on the I don't know. I don't know what it is. But if it was something that was not a big deal, then the employees would know about it and would say something. I mean, how big of a national security secret is it when it's dealing with an observatory in the post office? Right? I would think that the employees would say something. And the opposite appears to be true here, in that it's the FBI that knows everything and they don't. That doesn't make sense either. Right? Or, because of all of this leaving us with such few answers, we have this webcam issue playing out at the same time. And that just adds to this. Okay? The employees are saying that they don't know why they were evacuated and told to leave. Right? So we've got the webcam shut down. We've got everybody evacuated. We've got nobody talking. We've got Blackhawks. We've got police tape. We've got the local police that is absolutely uninformed. They don't know anything that's going on. The USPS does not know what is going on. The universities don't know, and the observatories don't know. And then we have the webcam shut down. So, has somebody seen something? Something that they couldn't explain? Observatories and astronomers, they talk to each other. They do. They're all friends. They know what's going on. And when they see something, I'm not talking about the UFO kind, but it could be some kind of crazy nebula, some kind of exploding star. Maybe it's a black hole. Maybe it's one planet eating another planet. It could be anything, right? Solar flares, whatever. But they call up their other buddies and they go, hey, man, check this out. Go over to star cluster, blah, 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 and they spit out a bunch of numbers and they program it in and they look, are you seeing it? Yeah, we're seeing it too. Isn't it interesting? Yeah, I can confirm it. Right. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Well, that's what they do. They communicate with each other. So, to confirm the things that they might have seen, and they call each other to take a look, could everyone around the world have been zeroing in on an object. I don't know what the object could be. Could it be an asteroid? Could it be ET? Could it be something's coming in this direction? Could it be something catastrophic? They don't want us to freak out. I don't know. But it certainly seems that these webcams were zeroing in on it and had the possibility of catching it. And these webcams are looking where the telescope is pointed at that time. I'm just suggesting here. I don't know for sure, but everything went offline. So what is it? What is it that everybody saw? What is it that everybody was looking at? Could it be ET? Well, yes, of course it could be. It could be anything. Could it be some giant rock headed in this direction? Could it be some crazy coronal mass ejection that, and even then, and I was, considering a few other things too as well, but anything from our sun would have gotten here already. It's 8 minutes at the speed of light. 8 minutes. So that event would have already happened. It would have come and gone. So is it something else? And this is the solar observatory. The other thing is SOAR down in Chile is another solar observatory, right? So we have to really consider all of the options. The ones that I think need to be taken off of the table pretty confidently is something else. A crime was committed. Maybe somebody was skimming off of the books. I don't know. It's the FBI. Is the FBI involved with mail fraud, or isn't that the USPS? And the USPS is another office has been shut down. When they bring in federal marshals for this? I don't even know. The U.S. Postal Police. Don't they have postal marshals? Marshal mail dudes? I don't know. So if we take all of that stuff away, what are we actually left with? We're talking about observatories that are looking up at the stars. What is it that they saw? Now, I know this. This is the crazy part. This is what is really strange. The repeating FSB story, the fast radio burst story, broke 2 days ago, and that was published. Talked about it on this show. And as it turns out, SETI is also part of and uses this telescope, the National Solar Observatory. I find that very curious. And now this with the shutting down and the evacuation of the observatory. You can't help but think that everything is connected. And they might be. That's the more frightening part. Who knows, right? Who knows? That's where you've got to go with this. And right now, who knows, apparently, is the man in the FBI. And those directions for the FBI come from Washington. And that's it. I have nowhere else to go with this. Now, this could be the most exciting news ever, right? John T. just said it's Nibiru, obviously. Maybe they saw Earth number 2. Could be. I mean, it could literally be anything, right? But if it was something that was not that big of a deal, we would just simply know about it, and they would have. You would think any installation in this country, any installation. I don't care if it's an army base, a post office, a library. It doesn't matter. The FBI and kicks out the employees and says, you know what, don't come back. We've got a security issue here. There's a press conference. There's something going on, and we have the right to know. And in this case, with the National Solar Observatory, that there is a cone of silence. And they're not telling us anything. There is no press conference. They're not even telling the local authorities. It's very, very strange. Very strange. And it is very fluid. Now, this is the other curious thing. This is what I find most interesting. I got the news about this, and I know that the person is listening right now. I got the news about this 2 days ago, 2.5 days ago. And it hadn't broken into the media yet. There was nothing out there. So, I get the piece of news just like, that I get from all sorts of people all day long. And I reviewed it, and I attempted to vet it, and it was tough. There was no news about this anywhere. And then I announced it last night on the show, and today it is everywhere. It is everywhere. Everybody is covering this story. The evacuation happened, and you need to note this, last Thursday. And the only reason why I got wind of it is because somebody local in the area got wind of it and attempted to call the observatory and did get through and spoke to a couple of technicians at that time. Can't do that now. But I got all of this information 2.5 days ago. So they had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days of an operation up there that nobody knew anything about inside of our borders, inside of our country. You need to really think about how serious this situation is. And it could be something else. It could be terror related. That's a possibility. There could be something else involved here. But why shut down the webcams? And that's the other key. When we take everything else and we keep it localized, right, in Sunspot, New Mexico, and you keep it localized there, and it's the post office and it's the observatory and some kind of chemicals, spilled into the ground, they got to shut it down, whatever it could be, right? All right, it makes sense. But then you turn around and shut down the webcams around the world at the same time. It is something really to think about. All right. Great show tonight. Kelly Sullivan Walden is here, the dream expert. We're going to be taking your phone calls and discussing your dreams all night long. I've had a couple of weird dreams lately. I'm going to run those by Kelly. And one of them, there's some dreams that I have, by the way, that I don't tell Rita about. Sometimes we get up in the morning and we go, man, a crazy dream last night, and we go over it. Well, I had a dream a couple of days ago. And I kind of know why I had it, because Rita and I were listening to music earlier that day, and it involved what we were listening to. But the dream itself was nuts. One that I can't explain, and it was just great. And I didn't tell Rita about it. So she's going to hear about it on the show tonight. And, I just kind of want to wonder what's really going on here. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that with you, too, as well. We'll be taking your phone calls all night long. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our guest, Kelly Sullivan Walden, the dream expert on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. This is Fade to Black. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I'll be right back with our guest, Kelly Sullivan Walden. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBlend for 15% off of your order today. Gobekli Tepe. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Times are changing. The circus of politics, healthcare's low standards and high prices, and let's not forget food quality. What to do? Arm yourself with Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. In a world of chemical imbalance and poor air and water quality, it's time you make a move. Log on to getthetea.com and stock up on organic non-GMO supplements. Don't forget the tea. Cleansing your body never felt so good. And we have a brand new tea called Takedown Tea, which helps support healthy glucose. All natural body support so you can be at your best, naturally. All you have to do is log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. We're not a fad that comes and goes. We are the real deal. Join us and armor up. Getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Changing America's health one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our guest is dream expert Kelly Sullivan Walden. Tomorrow night is Open Lines all night long. John Rappaport's going to be here with us. No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by Open Lines. But tonight it's Kelly, and also we're going to be opening up the phone lines for all of you tonight. And I've got a couple of ideas how I want this to go, and we'll discuss this with Kelly, but she's the best. She's on a mission to awaken the world to the power of dreams. She's a best-selling author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Dreams and the Unexplainable, The Love, Sex, and Relationship Dream Dictionary, and 8 other books, including Chicken Soup for the Soul, Dreams and Premonitions, I Had the Strangest Dream, It's All in Your Dreams, Dreaming Heaven, Dream Oracle Cards, Discover Your Inner Goddess Queen, and, of course, the follow-up, Goddess Queen Pearls of Wisdom Journal. She is whispered to be the secret love child of Carl Jung and Lucille Ball. What? Wait a minute. Kelly, that's not true. Is that true?
I think it is true. They're pictures. There's very, very compelling photographs that only I have seen. But if you're nice to me, maybe I'll share them with you. They're pretty awkward looking. Let me just say that.
That stopped me in my tracks. And you're also the monthly contributor to First for Women magazine and your column, Instant Insight, Unlock the Power of Your Dreams. It's a great column. And tonight we're going to be taking phone calls, Kelly. And this is what I was thinking. Could we have you finish people's dreams? Is that possible?
Ooh. Oh, you're talking my language.
Okay,
Jimmy
all
Church.
right. Just a thought, because I've had a couple of dreams lately that didn't finish, and we're going to get into all of that. And of course, I love to remember my dreams. Yeah. I love to remember my dreams, and I've always had that ability. But so many people out there, including Rita, right? Rita only lately has started to remember her dreams, but for years I would get up and tell her about my dreams, and I'm like, so what? Well, I don't remember. But now she can. So I would like, I would like to know why.
Rita.
Yeah, I would like to know. And we've always talked about the coming and going of a dream, and re-entering and doing that. So let's do all of that tonight and much more. Welcome back, Kelly. How have you been?
Oh, my Lord. I've been really, really good, and it's been a whirlwind, but I'm so happy to be back with you, Jimmy. You're like my brother from another mother, and it's awesome to be with you. And Rita, I love you, and I'm so happy to hear you're dreaming these days. We're always dreaming, but that you're remembering your dreams. That makes me very happy.
Well, let's, before we get started, I think that's an interesting place to kind of go first, because Rita and I discuss dreams a lot. And one of the things that was always missing between the two of us for many, many, many years was that I would get up and go into details, and she could not. Now she can't stop. And this is something that has happened, I would say, pretty dramatically and quickly over the last year. It's like a switch was clicked. What do you think is going on there?
That's wonderful. Well, there's a couple of things. For one thing that pops into my head, one of the books that you mentioned that I wrote is Dreaming Heaven, and that's a book that is about the journey that I took, the Toltec journey of awakening that's in Mexico, and Don Miguel Ruiz really put that on the map. In the Toltec tradition, they believe that there are the dreamers and the stalkers, and that we tend to fall into one category or the other. The dreamers are the ones who are naturally inclined to be very visual and to see things in kind of a poetic way that's very trippy, and we tend to be dreamers, and we tend to fantasize easily and see things that even in our waking state that aren't necessarily easy to see by most people. And the stalkers, they're not like star stalkers, like, going to Brad Pitt's house in the middle of the night with binoculars, not that kind of stalker. But stalkers are considered the type that are able to be very grounded and practical and really see what's here. And that's also a gift. And often with couples, one half of the couple tends to be a dreamer, and the other half tends to be a stalker. Usually you don't get two dreamers together or two stalkers together. So I imagine that you are more of the dreamer variety and she's more of the stalker variety. And I mean that in the best way. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean that stalkers can't dream and dreamers can't stalk. We should, if we're going to be really, truly present and powerful, we need to be able to do both of those things. So the dreamers, it's good for them to get a sense of this world and their feet on the ground here, and to pay bills and to know what's going on in this world. And for the ones that more are inclined to be very grounded and practical, like it seems like Rita might be, then it's really good for her to open up and to have, not that she's not already opened up, but in remembering her dreams, it just helps to bring her into a more balanced sense of being. And it doesn't mean that, like I said earlier, we all dream every night, and we all have the ability to stalk and be very grounded. But when it comes to dreams, it's hard to remember because the dreams tend to slip away so quickly in the morning if we don't make it a priority to make that the first thing on our list of things that are important to do that day. If we don't pay attention to our dreams right out of the gate, then they will slip away, even if they were the most enlightened, change your life dream. They will be gone within about 2 or 3 minutes of waking up if you don't grab them and wrestle them down and write them down or record them somehow.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that then. How do we remember? It's one thing to write it down, but how do you lock it down? If you write it down in 60 seconds, that's one thing, but What about an hour later? Is there a way to preserve it so you can write it down when you get home from work?
Well, I find that all you have to do is something grounded in the physical world to be able to recall most of it. Now, a lot of it will go away, but at least, so here's what I do. I lay in bed, and when I know that I'm waking up, and if I can beat the alarm, that's always best, because the alarm sometimes will be so jarring that state, that wavelength is gone. It's broken by the alarm. But so if I can wake up before the alarm and lay in bed and not think about anything else that I have to do that day or what happened the day before, if my very first question on my mind is, what was I just dreaming? And I don't move a muscle until I have some sense of what was going on in that dream, even if it's just a few random images. And if the very next thing I do, once I have that locked in my mind and I write that down, I actually don't even write it down anymore. I have a dream app that I use called Dream Journal Ultimate. It's free. It's simple. You can use it for lucid dreaming, but you can also use it for a plain old dream journal so you don't have to write anything, because often our writing in the early morning hours is really hard to read later. But this is the kind of thing where you press a button, you speak, and it translates it, speak to text. You give it a title, and then later in the day, when you're going about your business, you can be like, oh, wait, what was that dream? I totally forgot. You go back and you look, and it can bring the whole thing back. And if you can do that, then you've at least done the bare minimum to grab the dream. Once you have it, then you've got some clay to work with, and you can do something with that dream. But you can't really do any dream work unless you can remember it. So super important to be able to at least grab some piece. And here's one other thing. If you do wake up to an alarm and it wakes you up and it totally makes your dream disappear, see if you can set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier than you actually have to wake up, so that you can put on the snooze alarm and go back to sleep. And you go back to sleep with the intention that you're going to recall some sense of your dream, some dream, when you wake up the next time. And usually those are easier to catch.
There are, I would say most mornings, but there are mornings when I wake up, I spin my feet around, put them on the floor, and I literally start reviewing where I was, the dream that I was currently in. And I remember every single last detail. How is that possible? I mean, how is that possible? Can everybody do that?
No, not everybody can, but it's wonderful when you can. I think it's a sign of brilliance, if you don't mind me saying.
Okay.
I think that the more dream recall, I think there's a relationship between dream recall and creativity and intelligence and spiritual aptitude. So I think if somebody really wants to grow spiritually and really bridge the conscious, unconscious, this world, and the beyond, then starting with dream recall is a really wonderful way to do it. So it's one thing to recall those details. It's another to record them and recall them even later in the day when you have switched brainwaves. Because what we tend to do is, once we go about our day, we are in more of the alpha state or more in the beta state, whereas when we're dreaming, we're in delta or theta, which are those deep, deep brain waves that are running very slow but really powerful. So if you can bridge it, if you can recall all those details and then write it down or acknowledge it, then you, in a sense, you're bridging the gap between your conscious mind, which, according to the American Hypnosis Association, is 12% of your mind's power, and you're connecting it to your unconscious or subconscious, which is 88% of your mind's power. And on some level, you're having a whole-brained experience, which gives you such an edge on your day. It gives you the ability to be so much more psychic, intuitive, anticipating what comes next, being able to bring a better version of yourself, a more confident version of yourself, a more psychic version of yourself to your life. And who doesn't need that or want that?
And
that's what you get to do.
And also, these questions may seem kind of basic, but I've never heard them asked before. And one of them is this. Do women dream about women things? and men and men dream about men things. Okay, I'll be really really wrong here.
Go there, Jimmy.
But do women dream about romantic novels, and men only dream about sci-fi and cars? Or are there men out there that dream about riding up and down the beach on a horse with the love of their life?
Oh, you're hilarious. There has been all kinds of research about the different dreams that men and women have. Women do tend to have more relational dreams. And when it is a romantic dream, it does tend to be the white horse on the beach, or something that is about building a relationship or courtship, or the things that turn a woman on, the foreplay, which starts with the mind, which is about connection and energy and being loved and adored. Whereas men tend to have a lot more, their dreams do tend to be more sexual, or more about conquest, more about the race car, more about like charging after the wild animals, protecting. And in many ways, this harkens back to more of our primitive selves, where it's typically, at least in the past, it was the man's job to provide and to protect. Mm-hmm. So we could say that dreams are helping men to be able to do that more powerfully, and women have that tend and befriend tendency. If we don't bond, then we don't survive very well. So we do tend to have those dreams more often. And we all have sensual, sexual dreams, but women's sexual dreams tend to have more of a relational quality to it, whereas it's been reported that most men have sexual dreams, and it can just be literally with like random women, random men, random whatever, and it's more body parts. It's not so much who the person is, and there's no judgment there. It's part of how we're wired biologically. It's all serving a higher purpose on some level.
And the other dreams that I hear about a lot on this show are dreams about past lives or adventure types of dreams. Yes. And I get them from men and women. It doesn't matter. But when I hear that, what comes to mind first is it possible that it could be an actual past life, that this is a dream that another you had 500 years ago?
I love this question. Yeah, this opens up a very interesting realm of dreaming. And how would you know for sure unless there was some kind of confirmation? I know that there was a story I read in the paper years ago about this young boy who was probably 6 or 7 years old, who was having very specific and vivid dreams about warships. Mm-hmm. And he was able to draw them and describe them in absolute accurate detail, even down to certain serial numbers. And somehow they were able to they showed him an actual ship, and he cried, and he had this unbelievable visceral reaction. This boy who had never seen a warship, who was too young to have even seen a movie about these kind of things. He had absolute recall about what happened on the ship, about some of the missing pieces of history even. He was able to fill in some of the gaps. So I think it is a rare and special phenomenon, but I think it absolutely does happen. I think some people will have a dream that seems very past life-ish, where there's very specific detail about a particular time in the past, and especially if it's recurring and they're able to get a lot of details, it seems like the only thing that makes sense of why they're having this dream, it does seem to be about some unfinished business from a past life, and that's certainly one way to frame it. Another way of looking at every single dream is that it's all here to serve you now, whether it's a dream that relates to a past life or not. We all carry around unfinished business. So every dream, from one perspective, we could look at it from the perspective that they're helping us to clear the decks, so to speak, and help us to get more present tense with who we are and what we're up to, and then move toward what we want to accomplish in this life. But I think it is a really amazing phenomenon when people can confirm that what they're seeing in their dreams does historically relate to something that they had no business knowing about in this life.
I had a dream. I talked about it pretty specifically on this show 2 months ago. And I'm going to give you the short version. My question is, how is this possible? So that's where I'm going to get to at the end of this. The dream, which came out of nowhere, was me sitting down at a computer to write my autobiography. Okay? And so I sit down, chapter 1, and I start typing. I finish the book. Now,
oh my God.
I in one dream, I get to the end, present day, today. Like you and I talking right now is the last line I typed. Kelly and I had a great interview tonight, the end. So, but I went through all of these different events in my life, of which there must have been hundreds. I have no idea, but I remember them all, which seemed to me, Kelly, in real time. Now, how is it possible to dream 55 years of your life in 8 hours, number one, and number two, have it appear to be in real time? In that dream should have taken 55 years, right? I mean, it didn't seem like it was running in fast forward, but how does that work?
Right. This is so beautiful. When, it's this world, this 30-dimensional world that we live in, we pay attention to clock time and it seems oh so real. But when we step out of this dimension, time doesn't exist. There is no time. There's no clock. So everything is happening now. Every single thing that has ever happened, past, present, future, what we would call past, present, future, is all simultaneously now. So it's an amazing phenomenon. I mean, Einstein talked about how there is no past, present, future. It's all relative. Time is relative to the observer. So it's even scientific that our time is something that is a construct that we really only recognize in this dimension, and it doesn't have a reality outside. So it is absolutely entirely possible to live an entire life or relive your entire life in your dream and have it seem like it could fit on the head of a pin. And so as strange as that is, it's true. You were, to me, from my perspective, you were experiencing another dimension of yourself. You were perhaps taking a deep dive into the Akashic records of who you are. And that can happen kind of like in sci-fi novels where it just is all downloaded in an instant and you get every morsel, every detail, nothing left out. From a shamanic perspective, they would call this kind of a thing either a life review or recapitulation, where you have relived your life in this life so that you are bringing back in your power. In some way, when you relive your story, you reclaim scattered aspects of your power, parts of yourself that you have left along the wayside, and bringing it back into you. So as you did that, I imagine, and you tell me, Jimmy, what this was like when you woke up from that dream, I imagine that it must have been an incredibly powerful moment to have owned that, to have the entire book of your life right in front of you and owning your history. What was that like for you? How did that feel?
Well, two things came to me right away. First off, I knew what each chapter and each scene was going to be. I didn't have to think about it now because it was all clear and I still remember it. But the second thing, okay, now as crazy as this sounds, I know now that I can write a book in 8 hours. That's what I know.
Yes.
You know, in that, right, that I could overcome the fear of what it takes to write a book. Oh, it's going to take me months and months and months. Well, you know what? I typed the thing in my dream in 8 hours. How hard can it be?
Right. It's already written.
Right. So it's kind of this weird thing where I was able to overcome that. That's one of the reasons why I've never even attempted to write a book, is because I admire people that do that can write 300, 400, 500, 600 pages and have the discipline to sit down and do that. I can't do it. I've got a fear there, and so as strange as that sounds, I just was able to say to myself, I can do this. I can do it in 8 hours. I don't know what everybody else is having so much trouble writing a book. And it's simple, right? I don't know, but
awesome.
Well, now
that's the power of a dream.
Yes, it is.
And if you have. Go ahead.
No, I said yes.
I'm having a hard time hearing you for some reason.
I was fading.
The volume.
I was fading away, drinking coffee as I was listening to you.
You're fading to black.
And they're watching me on the bunker cam, so they know that I'm not pulling your chain. But that is one of the powerful things about a dream, is that it can be all fun, right? But if you sit back and take it serious for a second and analyze it. For me, that's what I got out of it, and that is very powerful.
I always say that a remembered dream, especially a really powerful one like this, it requires action in your waking life. So it's like the dream maker, God, or your higher self, whatever you want to call it, is really showing you something powerful and literal. I mean, often our dreams are symbolic, and sometimes they're very literal. And I think it's required now of you to write your book and to know that on some level it's already written. You're not going to have to be coming up with anything from scratch.
Right.
You're just pulling it down from where it's already been. So this is going to be easy for you. Yep,
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. Let's take
go ahead. By the way,
yes,
because you're such a great, you're so auditory. You speak all the time. I mean, one thing that, I would interpret your dream from this practical perspective is that why don't you talk it? I mean, you talk so well and so fast. I mean, you could probably just take a weekend and tell somebody your story from top to bottom and be done.
Yeah.
And transcribe it and have your first draft.
Yeah, I could probably do that, but whoever I would be, doing this with would probably stop me about every 15 minutes and call BS. We can't print. Come on, that never happened. So maybe it's best that I just do it by myself.
I doubt it.
Oh, man.
I doubt it.
I
doubt it. It doesn't matter. Write it anyway.
That's why I got to do it by myself. All right, let's take a break right here, Kelly. When we come back, I'm going to open up the phone lines, and I'm letting everybody know now. 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Those are the two phone lines we are using. Don't call on anything else. I won't pick it up. Our guest tonight, Kelly Sullivan Walden. I'll be right back. This is Fade to Black.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Katie and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy.
I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers, and you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only use night vision goggles from Bearing Optics. You can see your very own green chrome balls today by clicking on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, the Dream Expert is with us, Kelly Sullivan Walden. Tomorrow night's open lines. John Rappaport's going to be here, open lines all night long. But tonight, we're taking your dream phone calls. Now, two phone numbers, 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Those are the lines. I've got everybody lined up, and if you're calling in and can't get through, just keep calling, and we'll get everybody in. Okay, now, before we get to the phone calls, Kelly, I want you to end this dream that I had 4 days ago. 4 days ago. Okay, here's the dream without the ending. And don't laugh. Just go with me, okay? You got to hear this out.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Steve Perry, right? The singer for Journey, right? Okay. All right. You know who Steve Perry is? We all do.
I do.
All right. The dream is this. I get to a nightclub / party nightclub situation. It's dark. And I get there and I sit down. Somebody comes up to me and says, Steve Perry is here. And he wants to meet you because he would like to form a band. Now,
I love it.
Now, this is the crazy part about this. We all love Journey, and Steve Perry's great, but he's not my first choice of singers for my band, right? I would never, as great as he is. And it's just like the weirdest thing. I mean, Robert Plant, I might be able to understand, but Steve Perry, right? So anyway, I walk over and I meet Steve, and it's not the Steve Perry that we know, the long flowing black hair, the 1980s Steve Perry and Journey Steve. This Steve has got short salt and pepper black hair, little bit pudgy, little pudgy, and a suit jacket on, but it's Steve's face. You can kind of see it's Steve's face. And so we sit and talk. Now, this dream continues, and I'm not going to go through all of that, but we never play together. We go on this quest. We're going to go into a rehearsal studio. We're going to go and hook up with these guys. We're going to go take which never happens. We're going to go take pictures. We've got to do a photo session, right? But that never happens. Mm-hmm. He tries to take a selfie of us to put out to announce this. And the selfie, his cell phone is stuck in panoramic mode. I'm not kidding. And he can't.
Oh, my God.
And he can't. And the phone grows till it's like 6 feet wide and a foot tall. And he's holding it out, and he's trying, and it's in panoramic mode. So the selfie never gets taken. I asked him to sing for me, and it kind of happened at one point. I never played guitar, right? And this dream continued and continued and continued until one of my dogs licked my face and woke me up. Now, so the dream in the very, very beginning, right? Steve Perry wants to meet you. He wants to form a band. And then I have 3 hours of nothing resolving. Nothing resolved. Everything that we went to go into never happened. And there was no ending. I don't know if the band ever got formed. So what's the ending to this dream? What did it all mean?
Okay. Well, let's talk about the ending in just a second, if you don't mind. This is my hunch, and this is if it were my dream, based on what you said. So I'm in your dream. I'm pretending like it's mine, but I'm also adding some things here. But you said Steve Perry wouldn't be your number one choice. It's like, yeah, he's cool, but he's not my number one. And I wonder if there's something, and it could be around business, it could be around something that's forthcoming, some kind of opportunity that might sound good, but it's not quite. It's like no cigar. It's not exactly the thing, the journey to take. I mean, I think there's no accident that the band that he was in is Journey. So this is about your journey and going kind of almost like on the wrong path. Like it's close, but it's not exactly right. So I think when we're not exactly doing our journey, the journey for us, it never quite clicks. We get really busy. There could be a lot of stuff to do, but it's not quite clicking. So I wonder if this were my dream, I'd think, well, where am I jumping at an opportunity? Because I like to be wanted. I want to be wanted. I want you to want me.
Right.
Even though that's not his song.
Right.
But is it really like my best destiny? Is it really what turns me on? So I would think that it's kind of a warning dream about not taking a journey that isn't really the right one. Like,
don't get the band back together. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe
it might not be the thing. Like the perspective of if you're at a train station and you're waiting for your train, but your train doesn't show up, but another train comes along and it kind of looks like your train. You go chasing after that. Meanwhile, your train does show up 5 minutes later, but you're not there to catch it. So it's kind of like having the patience to wait for your journey to align, the things that are right for you. That's what I'm picking up from this.
Right.
That's the deep feeling I get. So if I was going to ask you, and I'll participate in this with you, if you could finish your dream, meaning that you could at any point change something as if you were lucid in this dream, if you were completely lucid and aware that you were dreaming and aware that you're the director of your dream, and the dream can go the way that gives you the most power and the most juice, the greatest feeling of satisfaction, what would you change or do differently in this dream, or how would you end it? And then I'll give you my 2 cents on how I would end it.
Yeah, I think that the ending is that I'm not that being in a band is not part of my future. That's what it is.
Okay.
And so I can tell Rita that I'm going to stop building the rehearsal studio in the garage, right? She can go, whoo, okay, all right, that's not going to happen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a very literal part of this about the rehearsal space.
Oh, I'm
and the
joking
guitar
about
playing
that.
and pursuing.
I'm joking about that. It's what I mean by that is, I have a pretty good guitar collection. I play guitar for a while. But there isn't that part of me is in the past. Right. And so, that's what I'm saying. I'm just joking. If I had to go in and sit down with Rita and tell her I'm building a rehearsal studio in the garage, she'd burn the house down.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Right. Not my house. Right.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So in your dream, but going back inside this dream, what would you do differently? What would you change or what would you enhance? Like if you suddenly became lucid in this dream and you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing?
I don't know if I would change it. No, I don't think I would. I would change it. I don't think I would. As frustrating as each one of those little elements were, and they were frustrating because they didn't resolve, there's that part of it. But the dream itself was very entertaining. It was very entertaining. Okay. It was very entertaining. I wouldn't change it. No, I rather liked it.
Okay, awesome. Well, from the fact that you brought up finishing the dream, though, I think I don't know that most people know what we're talking about when we say this. Maybe they do because you've got a very sophisticated audience, so they probably do know. But I'll say it just in case. From my perspective, a dream isn't over until the dreamer is empowered. The dreamer is like on top of the world, feeling like $1 million. And so if the dream is at all frustrating or unsatisfying or scary or terrifying, my perspective is the dream isn't over. It didn't get a chance to resolve. It's not finished. You don't have that aha moment. So you can go back in it because a dream takes place on a parallel reality, and that parallel reality doesn't end just because you woke up.
Right.
It's a continuum. So right now, even in talking about this dream, we're dipping back into this parallel stream, and we're bringing everyone with us. Everyone who's listening is also now, this is all part of I was just talking to somebody today, it's like the intellectual property does belong to the dreamer, but now it's all of ours. It's my dream too. And from my perspective, and I invite everybody who's listening to this to see what they would do if it were their dream and how they might change it. For example, in order to be totally empowered in the dream and not limited by anything, because in our three-dimensional world, yes, we have certain constraints that we have to acknowledge at least. But in a dream, and even when we're playing back in a dream, we don't have to think in any kind of constriction. So I might say, if I'm Jimmy Church, and Steve Perry's cool, but he's not my number one choice, but man, Robert Plant, if he wanted me to be in his band, okay, that would be a game changer. The game-changing network, that would change everything. I would play with him. And what does Robert Plant represent to me but like big time and like a true legend? And man, if I'm Jimmy Church, I know that I'm a legend. So I would go there.
Okay. All right. Robert Plant it is. I'll do that tonight. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to area code 609. You're up first on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, man, it's Castor.
Hi, Castor. How are you?
Not bad. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm doing good, man. Say hi to Kelly.
Hey, Kelly. How you doing?
Hey, Castor. What's going on? What kind of dreams are you having? I'm so curious.
Actually, I was wondering what you could say or what you know about sleep paralysis.
Yeah. Is that something that you're experiencing?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, from my experience with this is when we're sleeping, it is part of what is supposed to happen. It's a healthy function that there is a certain paralysis of our muscles. Of we're not speaking them. We imagine that we are, but our body shuts down so that we don't hurt ourselves. And so this is actually a really great thing. But there there are people that sounds like you are, Castor, that when you start to wake up, you're aware that you're awake and you try to move, but your body doesn't respond. So it can be a little bit freaky because you're like, hey, I have a body, but it's not responding. So it can feel really scary or upsetting or stressful. Is that, am I speaking to what happens to you, Castor?
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely terrifying. I mean, it feels almost like something's on my chest. You know, with all the strength and all my will, I'll try to move my arms and my legs, and nothing happens. I'm just, I'm awake. I see, the room around me. I just can't move, and it lasts for like maybe about 2 minutes, a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and it's just absolutely terrifying.
So here's terrifying. So yes, I've experienced that before, and I've talked to lots of people that have, and it can be terrifying, but it can also be a great gift, because in a strange way, when that happens, it means that you are on the bridge between sleep and awake. You are right there in that middle ground between worlds, and it's a sacred place to be in. It's actually the place where all the magic happens. It's where the greatest insights, the greatest wisdom can happen. So if it were me, if it were happening to me, like if I woke up tomorrow and that happened to me, I would tell myself, okay, instead of being terrified, let me just milk this moment for all it's worth. Let me just know that in a few minutes I'm going to be awake, I'm going to be fine. But right now, I am still in that dream state, and my body hasn't woken up yet. So while I'm here, let me open up to what do the angels have to say for me, to me, what higher consciousness wants to communicate to me, because this is prime real estate. This is a time to ask a question about your life, like, what's the lottery numbers, or what do I do about this relationship, or whatever. You can lay there and actually know that this is like lucid, time to be lucid, and make some use of that. So you can turn something that could feel really traumatic into possibly a great gift with a different kind of a spin on what you do with that.
Great phone.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, great phone call, Castor, and thank you so much. And when we discuss this, the sleep paralysis side of things, why is it that so many go through sleep paralysis and at the same time they have somebody in their room that they can clearly see at the same time?
Yeah.
They seem to go hand in hand.
Well, it's kind of like having an out-of-body experience. It's your body is your vessel, but when you're having this, you're not back in your body. I had a really powerful out-of-body experience a few years ago, and I tried to get my body to talk. I tried to get it to move, and it wouldn't respond. And it was frustrating, but it was also really cool, because it's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not my body. I am this body of consciousness that's beyond that physical flesh bag.
Right.
As precious as it is, we got to be grateful for it, but it's not who we are. So it's only stressful if we are identified with our body as being the be-all, end-all. But in the moment that the body's not moving, it's because we're not in it. And that means, by definition, we're somewhere else, and we can do something with that. It's amazing the things we can do when we step outside of the confines of what most of us, we take drugs to get out of our body. We take drugs to go to these expanded places, and somebody like Castor is having this kind of as a freebie, and he doesn't realize that it could be a gift. Not to deny that it isn't stressful and scary, but it could also be used as an amazing gift to explore and expand his consciousness.
Let's go to area code 207. You're up next on Fade to Black. Welcome.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Kelly. How are you? This is Jared.
Hi.
Yeah, how you said Jared?
Gareth. G-A-R-E-T-H.
Gareth. Gareth. Welcome, Gareth.
Yeah.
Hi, Gareth.
I'd like to approach the subject of having simultaneous dreams. It's only happened once in my life, where a friend I worked with for a while, I had a dream that I was kind of wandering through, it's almost like a Matrix-type office building with doors and hallways, And there was no one else there, but it was always kind of seeing the back of him, and kind of following him, trying to find him, and couldn't ever catch up with him, if this makes sense. And when I went into work the next day and told him that that's the dream I had, he burst out laughing and said I had the same dream. So I guess I would like to approach that subject. Maybe you could tell us a good story you have about that. How common is that? That happens, I guess that's really, it's fun to hear maybe your experiences with that. Mine was very brief. I mean, it wasn't a dream that was, I would say, super detailed. It was just, I could see him and catching up with him, but never really saw him. But he had the same dream. He was in the same building, and so it's kind of strange. I'll get off now and let you discuss that. But thanks for taking my call, guys.
It's a wonderful, it's a powerful dream. I call this tandem dreaming, and it's really special when it happens. It doesn't happen all that often unless you're somebody that's like highly skilled and practicing this all the time. But when it happens, it is the merging of realities. It's the merging of your reality, this person's reality, and your dreams and your waking reality. There's a whole bunch of things that are kind of simultaneously happening, like a vortex of different energies kind of all coming together. I grew up doing this with my sister and I, and from time to time we still do share dreams and dreamscapes, but where we would see each other in dreams and wake up and share having had the same dream or understanding certain characters or being in some places that only existed in our dreams, and both of us would see them at the same time. And to me, what that did with my sister and I, it brought us incredibly close. We are like psychic twins as a result of having had these dreams. So the bonding, the depth of connection is phenomenal. And if having it with somebody that you work with, I would imagine that at the very least, it's kind of like, I mean, I don't know how much you want to read into this, but I would say it's some kind of a marker of a soul contract, a soul mate, not like necessarily a twin flame, but somebody that is part of your soul family that's reaching out beyond the matrix and saying, yo, we're connected. There's more to our relationship than what's on the surface. We should pay attention to what's going on with each other. There's more going on here. So it is very special. There's one of the stories in Chicken Soup for the Soul. Do we have time for me to tell a quick story of a tandem dream? Sure. So there's a woman in the Chicken Soup for the Soul Dreams and Premonitions. She talks about how she's the last of all her friends to get married. She really wants to get married, but she's not. She just can't find the right guy. And she's got this friend. He's a guy friend. It's kind of like when Harry met Sally. They've just been best friends forever, but they never, ever thought of each other as a romantic partner. And one night she has this dream that she's wearing this beautiful red dress and she's dancing with this friend in this very romantic way, kind of like what you brought up earlier in the show, Jimmy, about the women's dreams.
Right.
And anyway, she wakes up from this dream and she's like, wow, he was really sexy. I'd never thought of him that way. That is so bizarre. Oh my God. She's like, wow, I didn't know he had it in him. And so she calls him the next day and she kind of sheepishly says, I had a dream about you last night. And he's like, were we dancing? She's like, yes. He said, was your dress bright red? And she said, oh my God.
Really?
He had the exact same dream, and he had the exact same experience of being physically attracted to her and seeing her as a sexual being, not just as a friend. They both had that simultaneous realization or epiphany, and so they got together and explored what it would be like to be more than friends, and it worked out. And lo and behold, they are married now, successfully so for several years, very happily married. And it wouldn't have happened were it not for that dream that they both had on the same night at the same time. So
Yeah, somebody just tweeted, I wonder if Steve Perry had a dream about Jimmy. That is too funny.
Oh, I have to. That's hilarious. I love that. There is a guy that I know. He's one of the Dream Life Coach training students that I know. His name's Luke, and he has a lot of Jimmy Church dreams, by the way. And I'm wondering, I don't know if you've met him, but I think sometimes when somebody has a dream about you, on some level, maybe the other person is dreaming. There might be this tandem experience, but you don't know them. So Steve Perry may very well be dreaming about Jimmy, and Luke may very well be dreaming of you as you're dreaming about him. Who knows?
Yeah, I know, right? I have no issues with that. The universe is electric. We are all connected at the quantum level. There is no question about that. There are things going on that we do not understand. Maybe the ancients had a grasp on it, but we've lost it over the years. And maybe they understood more. But we're getting it back. Right, but we're getting it back today. Exactly. And I don't have any issues with that. I don't think I've ever had a dream with somebody else at the same time. Certainly not with somebody that wasn't in the same house. If you know what I mean.
Not that you know of. I mean, you may have had a million simultaneous dreams, or I call them tandem dreams. But unless somebody talks about it. So this is why, to me, I think it's really important when you have a dream about somebody, even if it's strange, even if it's odd, to share it with them, because it can sometimes break that wall of the density of this third dimension and bring us into the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh dimension, just in the sharing of a dream. It's such a simple thing that can be so elevating and such a quick way to get on a deeper wavelength with somebody. It's very special when it happens. I think at the very least, it means that you mean more to each other than you might realize with your ego and with your third dimensional senses.
Yeah, and somebody had tweeted, Jimmy, I thought you could control your dreams. Why couldn't you control this one? And what's interesting about that, is when I mentioned me controlling dreams, I am able to go into my file, my Rolodex of dreams, pick a dream out and go and have that dream and do it. But this dream was this was fresh. This was a brand new. There was nothing to control yet. I was writing that one out. I had no idea what was about to happen. It was a very strange and fun thing at the same time. I rather enjoyed it. It was so strange. I mean, Steve Perry of all things. We got to take a break right here, Kelly. Let's do that. Okay. And when we come back, we'll get back to some more phone calls. Everybody, if you are on hold, stay right there. All right? It's Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, Kelly Sullivan Walden, the Dream Expert. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Teppy. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the paranormal radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's right. You can follow Kelly. Let me bring this out. Kelly, what's your Twitter?
Yeah.
Your Twitter. What's your
Kelly,
Twitter?
It's Kelly S. Walden.
That's right. I knew that. It's right in front of me. If I would take the time to look at my screen. Kelly S. Walden. Follow Kelly on Twitter. And a great website, too, as well, Kelly Sullivan Walden. And the links are over at jimmychurchradio.com. And let's get straight back to the phones. The phones are jammed. I've got people on hold here. Let's go to area code 540. You're up next on Fade to Black. You're live.
Hey, Jimmy. This is Paul from Orange.
Hi, Paul.
Virginia. Hi. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Paul. Hi.
How are y'all?
We're doing good, Paul. What's on your mind?
Good. It's been a nice show. Well, I guess I've had a lot of dreams. I've been trying to think of which one to talk to y'all about. And so here it goes. Ready?
Sure.
I was at a party at a friend's house, and then when I was leaving, say goodbye to everybody, and I went outside and I was really drunk. So I realized I couldn't drive. So I got in the back seat of my car, and then I said, "Home, James," and then the car started driving me home. And so we're going on the way home, and I can see through the woods someone's doing donuts in a field, a baseball field. And I was like, I wonder who's doing that. And next thing I know, the car turns to go that way. And I said, wait, I didn't tell you to turn here. So anyway, we go through there, and getting in the parking lot, and then the car started speeding up. Well, really fast, and I was like, what? And then I looked, and there was a skeleton driving the car. And then the person that was doing donuts in the field had stopped and got out of the car, started running towards us, and we're speeding up towards him. And I could see, we're just getting ready to run over him, and I was going, whoa, wait, whoa, stop. And then I was trying to grab the wheel and turn it, and I couldn't budge it at all. And next thing I know, we hit the guy. I was like, holy, and anyway, we went past there, and we're still going across the field. And then I looked, and there was a bonfire at the end of the field, a big, giant bonfire. And I was looking at it.
A big bonfire.
Yeah, bonfire.
Yeah, it was a giant bonfire.
Okay.
And I'm looking at it, and then I could see through the fire. I could see Jesus on the cross behind it. Well, I still can't budge the wheel. It won't budge. So next thing I know, we went through the bonfire, and we went through Jesus on the cross like it wasn't there.
How did the dream end?
Well, I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Do you want me to hurry up?
Well, I don't know how many more bodies you're about to run down. I don't know if we're going to go through all of those, but.
Okay, so and then right after that, I see a big brick wall in front of me. It was like a freestanding chimney or something, like a house that burnt down around it, and we're heading right for it. And I was like, I realized I couldn't budge the wheel anymore, so I just figured, well, I'm getting ready to die. So I said, well, at least it'll be quick. And then right after I said that, I heard a voice in my ear say, this is an answer to Paul's cries for help. And then I thought, what?
This is say that again. Say that again. This is a what?
And then a voice by my head said, this is an answer to Paul's cries for help.
An answer to Paul's cry for help. Okay, I got you.
Wow.
I got you.
So then I'm thinking, what? I have to die? But by the time we hit it, we hit the wall, and it was like, whoosh. It was like the biggest opening up feeling I ever felt in my life. That's the only way I can explain it. And I was still in the car, but the skeleton was gone, and we were floating through the trees. We were passing right through them all. And then I started thinking, I'm looking at my hands, and I'm going, I'm dead. And then I was like, well, what do I do now? And I thought, well, I guess I want to check this place out. I might be here for a while or something. And as soon as I thought that, I was out of the car, and I was out in space. And I felt like I was flying through space, and I was like, my arms and legs were waving, and I was going, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then I thought there's got to be a better way. So then I kicked back and put my feet forward with my fists towards my feet. And I felt like I was going, moving through there. And then I was like, all right, now where do I go? So I started looking around. I wanted to find a star to, find a planet or something. But there wasn't anything. There was no stars or planets or anything. And that was the end of it.
That was the end. Wow.
Oh my God.
I've heard
Paul,
a lot of dreams. Paul, yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Okay, Kelly,
Yeah.
I gotta hear your answer for this one. I've never heard anything quite like that.
It's an amazing dream. Okay, so this dream I think it's very special because it takes you all the way from kind of the bowels of hell, and it takes you all the way to heaven, and it gives you the resolution. I think I'm going to cut to the chase and then kind of work backwards. So I think when there's death in a dream, first of all, we know that the old wives' tale isn't true because, Paul, you're alive and well, and you're telling us. So when you die in a dream, you don't die.
Right.
But death in a dream represents a radical ending of a pattern so that something new can emerge. So to me, the pattern that is ending so that there can be a new version, like the better, new, improved version of Paul. The pattern, it seems like is about taking a back seat. If it were my life, I'd say taking a back seat to my life. And it's kind of like the whole problem starts in this dream with being drunk, being checked out, not being able to drive. And drive in a dream, in the language of dreams, is often about your will, about your drive in life, your willingness to like plug in and go places and have ambition and that some of us, we have ambition, but we sublimate it. I think getting drunk in a dream can represent checking out, not necessarily being with your hands on the wheel. Being in the driver's seat of your dream is about you being in control. So this is about a pattern that seems like, if it were my dream, that's ending is about giving up control because I'm not willing to take control over my life, and giving it up to something that might not be so good for me because there's all this death and destruction. So it's kind of like this wonderful warning dream. So Paul, my question to you is, does this dream does it resemble the feeling of anything that's happening in life or that used to happen in life? Like, did you ever give up control to somebody with a stronger will than you, take a back seat to somebody else's agenda and have that not work out so well?
Well, but there's one other part to this, though, Kelly. It sounded like it was almost death and rebirth. You know, the part with Jesus, and then in the end, when he's going out to the stars, there are no stars, it almost sounds like he was in a fetal position and then came back out of it and was alive. You know, it was almost like it was kind of like it was kind of like the ending to I don't even think Paul is with us anymore, but the ending like the ending to 2001: A Space Odyssey. You know, the Star Child.
Right.
Yeah. Very.
Yeah. Well, I was just in a conversation on my radio show this morning with Rasuli, the artist, and we were talking about the relationship between destruction and creation and how often they are simultaneous. So an ending is often something that precedes the new beginning, and even a new beginning can resemble an old way. But to me, I feel like this dream is epic for Paul. And I'm so glad that he shared it because it takes us all the way. So often in dreams, we wake up before we really get to see where it's leading us. Like, and the fact that there is the Jesus character in the dream and his car kind of drives through this fire. My feeling of this is like, oh my God, I am so out of control. I'm like even busting through this bonfire with Jesus. Like, I am really like out of control. Something needs to happen.
With the skeleton, skeleton at the wheel.
The skeleton is like, I'm hearing Grateful Dead is like singing the soundtrack. I will survive.
Right. As they plow down the crucifix. That's one of the better dreams I've ever heard. That was really, really good, Paul. Thank you for the phone call.
Bravo, Paul. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Let's go to area code 716. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Matt from Buffalo.
Hi, Matt from Buffalo. Say hi to Kelly.
Hi,
Kelly. Hi, Jimmy.
Hey, Matt from Buffalo.
What's on your mind tonight?
Well, I'm not talking about a specific dream. It's how I dream, and I've noticed that when I was a kid that on my way to church, my parents would wake me up. I'd be tired, so I'd go in the car. I'd almost be like half asleep. It always took me like 20 minutes to wake up, and obviously I'd be running late. Then I realized I was catching myself dreaming at a young age. So I'm lucid dreaming, and I do this all the time. I've been doing it for years. And I also have different places that I go, friends that I see. It's like a different life completely. I love dreaming.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for anything, right? So that is just like the craziest ever. And I tell them, like, I'll tell somebody, and they're like, no way, and then, they'll read on it. And obviously I'll read on it and everything, but that is really when you said earlier in the show about the Akashic records, I'll be telling people in my dream, hey, I'm dreaming right now. And I had to learn how to do that because I'd get so excited, my heart would start racing, and I'd wake myself up.
Right.
So I would calm myself in the dream, and then I stay there. And then I recognize, like, I have my own restaurants, my own beach clubs, my own everything, right? So that you can see, and I've been doing this for years, and I just seen somebody, I said, when was the last time I seen you? Because I recognize this person. And they said, like, 12 years or something like that. We just both broke down in the dream, just crying. And Oh yeah, then
wow.
you see, like dead people, like dead family, friends, and things like that, and it's always all real good. But yeah, I don't really get to, get any feedback on that type of stuff because I mean it's like every night. Like I am like a super duper lucid dreamer.
You are amazing. And so Matt, I mean, I'm so grateful that you're sharing this. You're very special. And it seems like this is, lucid dreaming like this is something that I think just like opera singing, we're all capable of singing, but not all of us naturally hit those high notes without even trying. And it seems like this is just a very beautiful gift that you have. And what it tells me is that you have the potential to be like a super conscious being and very spiritually advanced, because the things that you're able to experience on the other side and then bring it to this side are there. The possibility is the advancement of humankind. I think if we were all living in the 2.0 or 3.0 or 4.0 version of ourselves, we would all be dreaming like this all the time. We all have another life that we just mostly forget about. It's very rich, and we all have a cast of characters. We all have all these places that are recurring that we go to. We just all don't remember them. And when you can, and then you have such richness,
they don't
and
go
you're
away.
able to bridge it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Matt, thank you for bringing this up, and thank you for the phone call. One of the things that I appreciate about what Matt just said, Kelly, is I can't imagine not being able to sit around with a group of friends and discuss dreams. Like if there was somebody in the group of friends, and again, Matt, thank you for the phone call. If somebody was in that group of friends that, literally said, well, I really don't dream. I would feel, I mean, that sucks, and you couldn't.
I would say, I think I'm going to start the hashtag dream envy. I think the cool thing about sharing dreams is that it makes the people that are listening that don't remember dreams regularly, they're going to have a little dream envy, and they're going to go, hey, I want to remember my dreams. So they're going to pay more attention tomorrow morning. I bet you people listening to this right now are going to wake up tomorrow morning with some remembered dreams that are going to be really cool. It's just all it takes is a little conversation about dreams, or listening to a podcast or a radio show about dreams to get you thinking about it, so that you take a few minutes in the morning to remember them, and then you start remembering them, and it's like you're able to advance your own consciousness. It's one of the coolest things, and I so appreciate Matt for sharing this really, really cool dream, and Paul as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody out there doesn't dream, give us a call. I want to hear from you. Let's go back to the phones. Area code 571. You're up next on Fade to Black. You're live. Oh, you're breaking up. I can't do that right now. Let's go to area code 203. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling? And wow, is there something wrong with my phone line all of a sudden?
It's high frequency. It's your high frequency Jimmy Church.
Okay, let me reset. I'm just going to reset. Let's go back. Okay. Area code 203.
Jimmy.
Yeah, you got to turn me down in the background.
Okay.
You're live on the air right now.
On the air, Jimmy. Yeah, it's Mike. Mike in Connecticut. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mike from Connecticut. Say hi to Kelly.
I'm so happy I got you, because I've been waiting for a dream expert to come on your show there so long. So, I got to share.
Awesome.
How you doing?
Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
We're good, Mike. We're good. What's on your mind?
All right. So, a couple quick things. Listen, I also have had a couple of dreams where I died, okay? But the odd thing is that, they're quick, like, something will happen. One of them, I remember, like, I got shot, and I was like, is this it? And then I felt the spirit, like, in my dream, I was, like, coming out of my body, and I was like, whoa. Okay, so we do go on, and then that was a really quick one, and woke up, and it was kind of, like, really shocking that day, but this was the one that was really weird to me, was that I had died in another dream. And I want you to picture this, what I'm about to tell you, but without pain, okay? It was like somebody stuck a like an electrical cord right up to me. It was like thousands of volts of electricity going through my whole body, okay?
Oh, my God.
Like, almost like a tingling it was real, though. It was like a real physical sensation, not in the dream. So when I died in the dream, this physical sensation came over me of all this crazy tingling, something I had never experienced before in my whole life. And for the life of me, I just can't understand it because it was such a different feeling. Have you ever heard of anything like this before? Or?
No, actually, this is actually, no, that's not entirely true. I have heard a few times people being electrocuted in dreams.
Well, it wasn't like an electrocution, though. It was almost like a sensation. I didn't die from being electrocuted in the dream. It was like this night I had fallen asleep meditating or something, and it was just like a really weird sensation of like tingling, like just going from the top of my body all the way down. I don't know what it could have been. It was just really odd. It felt really, really intense.
Okay, Kelly, go ahead.
So if I'll weigh in my 2 cents on this. I think sometimes especially it sounds like Mike is somebody who meditates, so he's like on a journey to consciousness, and having death dreams that preceded this, this tingling, this intense tingling dream. It feels like he is on a fast track to become a more awakened version of himself. And so I think with electricity, with energy like this, it's kind of like we all kind of want to be awakened, we want to be enlightened. But the truth is that if we were, it would blow our circuits. We don't have the fortitude to be able to necessarily handle all of our light. So that's why it's like we're operating on a dimmer switch. And most of us, normal to us is pretty dim, but every once in a while in a dream or in life, in waking life, we get kind of blinded by the light, and it's shocking. It's not what we have. We don't have a tolerance for it. So in some way, I think Mike, if it were my dream, and my interpretation is, I think he got a blast of him operating at full throttle, and it overwhelmed him. It wasn't necessarily a gentle, gradual bringing it up. It just kind of like all the lights turned on, and I think it blew his circuits, but I think it gave him a little preview of coming attractions, like he's meant to be enlightened and he's on a fast track.
Thank you for the phone call, Mike. And again, it sounded like also he experienced something in real life and then turned around and experienced that in the dream too as well. And he knew what the electrical shock was like in real life, and he experienced that in his dream. And I'm sure that must happen a lot. That our dreams. I had heard this. Everybody stay on hold. Or everybody on hold, stay right there. I had heard something. Rita and I were talking about this a couple of months ago, and we were talking about you, Kelly, and which and this is what was brought up, that you only dream what you know, that you don't dream something that is new that you know nothing about. Dreams are only from experiences. What do you think about that?
I've heard this as well, and I think most scientists would agree. However, I have had many experiences with people, with myself, with other people that have seen things in dreams that they have no prior knowledge of, not in this life anyway. I mean, like the boy that I was talking about at the beginning of the show.
That's right.
The young boy that had never even seen a fighter, a ship like this, and didn't. How could he possibly know the serial numbers and some of the facts and things like this? And even a friend of mine she's kind of like Paul in that she's a super lucid dreamer, really, really powerful. And some people have brought her into dreaming and into hypnosis to have her see things that she has never experienced in this life that took place in ancient Egypt. She's been able to fill in the gaps on things that happened that there's no way she could possibly know in this life. And yet historians that she's worked with have said, oh my God, this absolutely fills in the gaps. It connects the dots between what we knew and what we knew that we couldn't know. It's like so I think that it's not true that we only dream what we know. I think it's common. I think it's more often the case that we dream about what and who we know. But I think that there is that exception to the rule that happens. I don't know. I think that when we dream, we open up the lid to who we are and what we're capable of. And I think that we can go way beyond what we have had experience with in this lifetime.
Let's go to area code 405. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Say hi to Kelly.
Hello, this is Galusha.
This is who?
Am I on the air?
Yeah, you're live.
This is Luke. This
Hey,
is
Miss
Luke, the
Kelly,
one I
I
was
just
telling
wanted-
you about
I
who
wanted to
dreams
give a
about you all the
shout-out.
time, Jimmy.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Luke.
Hey, Luke, how are you? So you have Jimmy Church dreams, huh?
Yeah. I hear that you've heard, huh?
Oh,
That's
man.
okay, man. I won't let you drive drunk.
So, Luke, I'm just going to, I have to know, man, what kind of dreams are you having?
Oh, man. Well, the one with you, I'm trying to remember the whole extent of it now. I'm like right on the spot, and so my mind has gone blank. But there was one where I had met you in the dream, and you had been drinking, and you were going to drive home. And I was like, oh, man, I can't let Jimmy drive home drunk. I got to go, drive him home. And then I think I tried to stop you from getting in the car, and then, you just disappeared. And I was like, oh, no. Man, everybody's going to point the finger at me and say, there was the man that killed Jimmy Church.
Did I get home safe, or did you drive me? What happened? Did we call an Uber?
A dream Uber.
Yeah, dream Uber.
But, yeah, I mean, you just disappeared.
That's interesting. Luke, have we met?
Yes, my screen name is Betsalel McGee.
Oh, okay. I got you. Of course. Well, that's interesting. And I don't have Kelly and Luke. I have dreams with friends once in a while. Well, I mean, it's rare. I don't really have them. I have dreams with Rita all the time. I mean, we should expect that, but I don't. Right. It's not like I go up to friends going, "Dude, I dreamed about you." Now I had this dream about Steve Perry, a couple of nights ago, which is strange enough. Mm-hmm. But no, my dreams when I interact with others, it's either with Rita or it's people from my distant past, high school friends. Mm-hmm. I do that a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, high school friends.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Luke.
I was going to say, I actually had an experience. This is a long time ago. I had a friend named Apple. And one night I had this dream to where Apple and we were traveling down the road to Lake Tahoe, someplace I've never even been. And we ended up in this house of this Native American shaman man named Big Bear. Never met this guy before in my life. And he told me that he was about ready to pass away and that he wanted me to watch over my friend Apple. And in the dream, I went up to my friend Apple. I'm like, dude, who is this guy? He goes, dude, I have no idea. Just give him a false name.
Right.
And so, in the process of this dream, the reality of the dream shift is so it was no longer a scrambled dream like what you usually have, which is typical of going into the lower astral, the emotional level or the lower astral realm. So, and I've noticed that it takes two people to really solidify the dream state whenever you're sharing dreams.
Right.
And so, and I was I was talking to this Native American shaman that, I had been studying Kabbalah, and I was showing him all these diagrams of all these star charts. And afterwards, my friend Apple comes up to me in the dream. He's like, dude, we'll get together later on today. I'll come over to your house. So I woke up, wrote down the dream, and then about 6 p.m., my friend Apple shows up at my doorstep knocking on the door. I'm like, I've been expecting you.
Wow.
Like, yeah, dude, I know. I was like, dude, who in the heck was that guy? He goes, dude, I have no idea. I've never seen him before in my life.
Now that's weird. And see, but again, the universe is electric. I'm serious. We are all connected. Luke, we are certainly connected, my friend. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, you are.
And somehow you got through on the phones tonight, and it's so great to hear from you. Thank you so much.
Oh, Jimmy,
Thanks,
one last thing. When you get a chance, ask Kelly about the Mars dream that you were in of mine.
The Mars dream? I'll do that right after the break.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Thank you so much, Luke.
Okay.
Thanks.
I love you guys.
Love you right back, Luke. What a great phone call.
Thanks, Luke. We love you, too.
And somehow he got through on the phones. What is, how lucky is that? We need to take a break right here, so let's do that. If you are on hold, stay right there. This is Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, Kelly Sullivan Walden. We're taking your dream phone calls all night long. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with us.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal God on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com, dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger-looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Kelly Sullivan Walden. We're talking dreams tonight and taking your phone calls. Tomorrow night, open lines. It is Fader night. John Rappaport's going to be here with his No More Fake Newsroom Live, followed by open lines all night long. And tonight we're discussing your dreams with Kelly Sullivan Walden. Kelly, somebody just posted up some pictures of us back at Conscious Life Expo. And I got to say, when I see these, I'm always reminded of your clothes. You're always the brightest person in the room. Kelly, are you there?
Oh, my God. Yes, I am. So sorry. I had you on mute. So sorry. Yes, I'm remembering. You are so sweet. That is such a... But I don't know that that's true, but I think it's a very kind thing to say. I appreciate you saying that.
I say it all the time. Rita and I, will be walking and we'll see you, from 50 yards away. You tend to glow. And there you go. Let's go back to the phones.
Oh, I'm looking. I see these pictures. Oh, my God. Those are so fun. I love those.
You know what? I remember specifically when these were taken. This was, and I'll remind you, this is when we were all at Lisa Gar's presentation.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, with Anita Marjani.
That's right. That's right.
Great.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I remember.
That was incredible.
I just met her. I just got to interview her. Man, she's amazing. That was very cool.
The both of them are. That was a really good presentation. Let's go to area code 571. You're up next on Fade to Black.
Yeah, hi there, Jimmy. It's David.
Hi, David.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you, David.
So I got a quick call tonight. I just wanted to know the difference between like a junk dream and a meaningful dream. There's dreams I have where, a lot of times I dream I'm at work. I'm dreaming I'm at work. I hate those kind of dreams. I'm at work. And then there's those dreams that I wake up in a sweat and I can't get back to sleep, and it must mean something. And, years ago when my sister died, I had a dream, and
it
was one of those kind of dreams.
Yeah.
So, junk dreams and meaningful dreams.
That's a great question. Yeah, exactly. Which ones do we discard?
Yeah, there's great dreams. I feel really protective of dreams. I wouldn't call any of them junk dreams because I think there's gold in all dreams, but we only have so much time and so much energy. We can't focus on absolutely every dream. We wouldn't do anything else in our lives but pay attention to dreams, and that's not productive. So I think it's good to at least we grab onto the dreams that have the most juice, the most emotion, the most color, the most bizarre, and those tend to take us down the rabbit hole quicker, further, faster. But so I wouldn't call them junk dreams, but I would say, yeah, there are the dreams that tend to have that level of vibrancy that make it so that they're compelling and that they really bring us in. I love the John Muir quote about how if you pick any leaf off a tree in the forest, it contains the entire forest. So I think even in what David might be considering to be a junk dream, there's still pieces of soul juice in those dreams. But let's face it, the big dreams are the ones that we're going to focus on. So it's fine just to pay attention to those big, vivid Technicolor ones.
And before we get back to the phone calls, Luke said the dream of Mars. What happened?
Yeah. So he just resent it to me to remind me, and it's epic. I mean, this Luke is a big dreamer. Luke is like Paul, where the dreams just are completely amazing. So this is it's kind of like he's back in the 1950s. It's like a sci-fi kind of movie of Mars. And he has a lot of dreams about Mars. So I have a feeling that he is a Martian. That's one aspect of him. But Jimmy Church, is broadcasting a movie, or he's the announcer on Mars. So there's like this evil rogue faction of humans trying to take over Mars, but they're below. So there's definitely this war kind of going on, and you're like you're the announcer, and you're kind of talking about the blow by blow, the play by play. There's all these caves and rock crystals, and he even has this really strong smell that comes along with it that turns out is kind of the smell of Mars, as it turns out. And what else is in here? He's flying through the air, and he's kind of like a hero, and he's telepathic in the dream. But basically, you're kind of in the center of it, Jimmy. All roads lead back to Jimmy, even on Mars. It's really, really powerful.
Yeah.
So I think just like what you brought up earlier about, can you dream about the things that you've only seen before? This is another example of that, because I doubt that Luke has been to Mars, and yet some of the things that he has seen and experienced in his dreams about Mars seem to coincide with some of the things that there's a lot of research about that he's found out after the fact, after having these dreams. So,
well, I hope he's listening right now, because I'll say this, and Rita really deserves a medal for putting up with this. But one of my favorite things to do, and she never tells me no. All right, she writes it out. But one of my favorite things to do is to watch 1950s sci-fi movies about Mars. Yeah, I watch them all the time. I watched one the other night. Yeah, absolutely. I watch them all the time. I do. Robinson Crusoe on Mars, whatever, rocket ship to Mars, invaders from Mars. It doesn't matter. I watch him all the time. So Luke, you're not too far. Yeah, he's not too far off of the mark. Let's go to, what do we have up next?
That's very cool.
Area code 718. You're up next on Fade to Black.
Hey, I believe it's Bob. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to get that Red Bull commercial. It looks very good. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And my music is... Jimmy, thank you so much.
No, thank you. And it was fun playing your stuff the other night on the air. What do you have tonight for Kelly?
Okay, I've got so many dreams. I remember more in the past than the future. One night I went to sleep, right? And I woke up in the dream. I guess it was a lucid dream. And I was in this, there was 4 doors in front of me. Okay, the first one I opened was nothing. The second one I opened was just like a little green fog or something. The third one I opened was this beautiful blue universe. And I could fly out into that universe. And so, I mean, it was fantastic. And then that was one of the most unusual dreams I ever had. And it was actually, and so I got an idea for this comic book someday called Astral from it.
Wow. So what happened? Was there a fourth door? Did you ever see what was behind the fourth door?
I'm sorry. That was the fourth door. I forget what that third one was. But the fourth one was the beautiful one.
You know, as you're talking about this, I think your name is Bob. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have your name right? Okay, cool. To me, this dream feels like it's like all these parallel realities. They're simultaneously happening.
Oh yeah, I've always dreamed. Oh yeah, one night I had this dream. I was walking in this other city, and people were looking at me like I was strange or something. And I said, "Well, I got to get something to take back. I got." So I reached for some kind of quarter or something. Of course, I never brought it back. But I did that, and I've had so many dreams like that too, and really, and I really had this dream once. I was in Washington D.C., and I was always thinking of this way of getting away with the income tax. And I was sitting there in Washington, and everybody said, "Oh my God, what a great idea! I've never heard nothing like it." And it was. You want to hear what my idea was?
Hold on. She didn't get a chance to comment on your 4-door dream.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jim.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Wow. No, but I think in general, Bob, it sounds like you being such a lucid dreamer. It's part of, I would say, the strategy behind this amazing creativity that you have. It sounds like your creativity is just bursting, and the 4 doors just seems like four dimensions.
Okay, Bob, hold on. You got to let Kelly talk.
It's amazing, but I can just
Bob's
feel
got
Bob
a lot to
bursting
say
with creativity.
Yeah, Bob's got a lot to say.
Yeah, he does. I think it's
before,
incredible, and I think
Kelly, I'm going to come back to you in a second. Bob, for everybody, really quick, what's the website where everybody can go check out your music?
AvalancheBob.bandcamp.com. The Snowboard Revolution and saving the world by the Beatles saving the world from the invasion of poison mushrooms, which I tried to get to Paul.
Okay, so there you go, and the website Avalanche Bob. Everybody, we played his music a couple of weeks ago, but very creative guy Bob is actually. Kelly, you hit the nail on the head. So back to the 4 doors really quick.
Well, it just feels like they're these simultaneous realities, and he opens the doors and he's aware of them. But the 4th one that he goes through, it sounds like that's from like either the 4th dimension, 5th dimension, and I just love the image of him flying through this beautiful blue. And anytime there's flight in a dream, to me, that's the ultimate symbol of freedom and having a connection with your spirit and remembering that you're more than just your physical body or your physical circumstances, that you're an infinite being. So I love that he brought that dream into the show, because I think there's a lot of people having a lot of scary dreams, a lot of funky dreams. It's always good to remember that we are also having flying dreams, and if we're not having them ourselves, we can at least know that Bob's having them, and we're connected to him in some way.
Yeah,
thanks for bringing that up, Bob.
I did want to hear your answer on that, because I don't have them anymore, but I used to have the multiple door dream. You know, the door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, and which one am I going to go through? Yeah. And I would have to go back and remember them, but I know that there was one specific door, whatever the number was, that I would never go through in any version of the dream. Yeah. Let's go back to the phones. Area code 408. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Deb from Sacramento, and hi, Kelly.
Hi, Deb from Sacramento. Hi, what you dreaming about?
I could tell you a dream, but I have a question that I've always wanted to know that is related to dreaming. Can you explain to us your feelings about why people sleepwalk?
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's a great question.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Right. Well, I think there's a few different ways to approach this. Sleepwalking is it's a disorder. Actually, it's dangerous, and I think that most people that do, if somebody's listening to this and they do sleepwalk, you should look into what's causing it, because sometimes there's been people that have gotten really hurt, or actually it can be scary. But I think in general, if you're able to be in an environment that's going to be safe and protected, and you're not going to get in your car and drive. I know some people have done that, and it's not good when that happens. But I think for the most part, it means that so there's the disorder aspect, because you're supposed to not be able to move your body. You're not supposed to be able to have motor functions. So this isn't supposed to be a good thing, but let's look at it from the other perspective. To me, I think that it's the ultimate lucid dreaming experience. It's the ultimate attempt to bridge the gap between the conscious and the unconscious, and to bridge both worlds. And I think that's what's happening. So with anything that's a quote-unquote disorder, I think it can also open the door to a gift. Is this something that you do, Deb? Are you a sleepwalker?
Not anymore. I used to sleepwalk when I was a kid, and the last time I remember sleepwalking as an adult, I was trapped in my dream inside a dark building. It was my work building, actually, and all the lights were out. The elevators weren't working, and all I could see in the dream was a blinking phone, like blinking lines, and I was trying to get to the line, to punch the line, to call out, to get help, to get out of there. And I woke up. And I had been, instead of hitting the phone line, I was out of my bed. I had gotten into my closet. I'd torn down every piece of clothing I had off the hangers, and I guess that's what I was doing when I thought I was reaching for phone lines. And when I woke up, I was standing in front of my dresser, and I saw myself in my mirror. So it was quite alarming.
Angel. Oh my God!
That's the last sleepwalking
very
dream I remember ever having.
Wow, and what did you do to stop it? To stop them, since you haven't had them for such a long time?
I just never had them again after that. I think maybe just being startled and realizing that I woke up and I was looking at myself in the mirror, and it startled me so badly. It didn't freak me out, but I was just startled. And then I thought, wow, I'm sleepwalking in my dreams now. And then I never sleepwalked again, as far as I know. And I was probably about 22 when that happened.
I think that the people that I know that sleepwalk or that talk in their dreams, they do tend to be very psychic. They tend to be very sensitive. They're people that have what we in the dream world would call thin walls, where there's just a very thin membrane connecting or between different realities, whereas most people it's more like a big wall. For you, it's like a thin membrane. So with anybody with a gift, you got to be also very protective of yourself and make sure that you're okay, because I'd hate for you to hurt yourself in that kind of situation. But when there is a dream like this, I would say look at what's going on in it. When the dream becomes lucid, or when the dream becomes something where you're sleepwalking or talking, to me that's also like the cosmic highlighter pen, drawing a big circle around this dream, saying, pay attention to the content of this dream, what was trying to be resolved. It feels like on some level, the dreaming self is really trying to reach out to make sure that you're paying attention. So there's more to the dream than just what was going on. I think that it's pointing to something larger.
Thank you so much, Deb. And sleepwalking. Thank you, Deb. And sleepwalking is dangerous, and then we have that whole melatonin, aspect of it.
Oh my God!
And you hear about these. Yeah. Oh man! Not only sleepwalking, but sleep driving and just doing things that they normally wouldn't do.
Oh my God! There was a woman when I was on the Ricky Lake show. She was on the show. She had gotten into her car, had driven and gone to the store and purchased something, and driven home, ran into a tree, got arrested, actually had her photos taken at the police station. They brought her back. She woke up in her bed and had no recollection that this whole crazy night had happened, where she had actually been arrested and bailed out of jail and brought back home, no awareness, and she's just so lucky that she didn't kill anybody or kill herself. So it's, if you are somebody that's listening and you do sleepwalk, it's sometimes it's funny and it's anecdotal and we can laugh about it, but really you want to make sure that your door is locked, that the keys to the car are nowhere where you could reach them, and that the people around you know if you are sleepwalking to help to protect you so that you don't bump into some sharp edge of something. And when you wake up, and if you are fine, really go back into the dream and unpack it and find out what that dream was about and what it was trying to get you to know about yourself.
Can I get you to hang on for another segment?
Absolutely.
Okay.
My pleasure.
I've got a whole list of email that just came in. Well, it's been coming in throughout the show. And a whole list of questions in Twitter. I've also got calls on hold. And we've got 6 minutes left in this segment. So obviously all of that's not going to happen. So if I can get you to hang on, then I'm going to ask you this question. How do people manifest reality from dreams? And I'm going to give you my example of it. Okay, this is my example.
Great.
When I was 4, 5, 6 years old, 7 at the max, I had this recurring, repeating dream over and over again of me doing what I'm doing right now. That is being on the radio, in a studio with a console, glass in front of me, producers, and I'm taking phone calls all night. Now, I had no idea what being on the radio was at that age, but, and also technically it was a vision of the future because it wasn't technology from back then. It was a very futuristic setting.
Right.
But it's exactly what I do today.
I love it.
Well, but I can't deny it. It actually happened. I didn't understand it then, but now I look back and it's the craziest thing. I was able to either I manifested my future or I saw the future and dreamt it. It's one or the other.
Oh, I think it's beautiful. I call this dreamifesting. It's manifesting, but from a dream. It's the best place to manifest from. Shaman, there's a shaman chief that I know that says that we see everything first in a dream before it becomes reality. It's just that sometimes we don't remember. The fact that you can remember these dreams it's profound. It means that you're on track. I think we all have a destiny. And, it's kind of like in your dream about Steve Perry. There was the feeling of pursuing something that wasn't quite right, and nothing really pans out except a lot of frustration. But there's a difference between when you're on your path and you're doing your hero's journey and you are manifesting and things are coming to fruition. There's nothing better than that, than really living the life that you were supposed to live. I think all of us, if we really think about it, and if we haven't paid attention thus far, it's not too late. We can start now. I think we all get clues in our dreams about where we're supposed to go and what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it. And when that dream matches up with reality, it's pretty sweet. I mean, that's got to feel good to know that the little boy in you was seeing this vision of the future and you've closed the gap. That's got to feel good, doesn't it?
Well, it's frightening too, in a way, in a sense, in that I saw the future. I didn't understand it because it was the future, right? But I clearly cracked the book on the future, and I still can't explain it. When I look back, this was not a one-off dream. This was something that was very, very, very consistent. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a pilot. I had nothing around me that was radio. Nothing. There was nothing there. So I didn't understand it, and I avoided it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I went in and started taking broadcasting classes or thought about it or no.
Right.
It's very strange. Very strange.
Well, your destiny has I think your destiny has its own volition. It has its own will, and it's sneaky like that. And I think you brought this up earlier about the conversation you and Rita were having about we only dream about things that we've seen, and that's not necessarily true if we're looking at things linearly.
Right.
Because you, as a little boy, you didn't know about this technology. You didn't know that there was such thing as a career in radio, and yet you saw it. But because you're not ultimately a linear being, you're a multidimensional being. This is proof of that. You were young, but yet you saw something in the future. So to me, it's just a beautiful confirmation for any part of you that might think, well, I'm just this guy that's living kind of in an ordinary way. It's like, no. You're living in a multiverse, and you are a multidimensional being. And the past, the present, the future, it's all happening now. And what you're dreaming about now, about the quote-unquote future, it's already happening. And it's a beautiful thing. I mean, to me, it's just an affirmation of dude you are, and how cool that you didn't fight it, that you actually are in the flow of what you came here to do. And you're helping to you interview astronauts, and you interview people that do all these crazy things that you thought you were supposed to do. So.
And that advice goes, that advice goes to anybody out there that is dreaming outside of their comfort zone and quite possibly ignoring something that is a message. Because that's what I did. Exactly. I ignored it and I didn't act on it. Or I was seeing a vision of the future and I didn't have a choice. So there you go. There is no no free will.
You only resisted so far.
I know, right? Let's take a break right here. We're going to do some overtime with Kelly Sullivan Walden. And I've got everybody on hold. Stay right there. I've got all of your questions lined up, and we'll get to all of it before the end of the night. I'll be right back. Stay with us. Short break.
Here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter,
but listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and my family is safe because of Numana Emergency Food Storage. Just go to the Numana banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code Jimmy10.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I want to thank our guest tonight, Kelly Sullivan Walden, for doing a little overtime with all of you tonight. Way too much going on, and if you're on hold, stay right there. We'll see if we can squeeze in a couple of more phone calls. You know what? I will do that. I won't leave you hanging. And Kelly, I've got a whole list of questions here, and let's go rapid fire. You ready?
Awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
This is from Tanette. She says, "What is it when you see a person in your dreams that you know is that person, but they have a different face?"
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, okay, how to do this quick. We all have a cast of characters, and in dreams, the reality doesn't stay solid, so it's often a blend. So I would say, what is this person like, the one that you think it is, and then what is that different face telling me about them? So blend those characteristics and ask yourself, what is that message? So if the person in real life is kind and gentle, but the face looks mean, then that would be telling me something about myself or something to pay attention to or be aware of. So look at the contrast of the qualities that person's bringing together.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. This is from the Crypto Alchemist. It says, I had a lucid dream that my chest exploded open and the brightest huge white light beam came out of my chest, went through my ceiling, roof, sky, and I saw my light beam reach the edge of the universe. I was in awe.
Wow.
What do you think this means?
This is the kind of dream that you just meditate on. This is a dream that is one of those accelerators in consciousness. Like all this person or anybody who's listening has to do is think about the visual of this and how could you possibly have anything in this world that would ever bother you or hurt you or scare you. This is your own personal key to illumination. So milk this dream for all it's worth and take all of us with you. It's an awesome dream. Thank you.
This is from Eddie. Eddie says, does Miss Walden consider the dreamscape and the astral plane totally separate or as two sides of the same coin?
Great question. I think they blend. I think that there's no way of being able to separate them, and they definitely overlap, and yet they have different properties. I think there's a different way that we interact with them, but I think that we often are on the astral plane. We explore different dimensions, and could one of those dimensions be the astral plane for sure? But I think that we're talking about infinity. There's no exact science about where we go, but we explore the larger landscape of who we are, what we're capable of, and we're not confined to anything that relates to 3D while we're in our dreams. So it's related to the astral plane.
This is from JME Quantum. I love this question, by the way. My mom used to tell me that she could dream in black and white and never in color. I always dream in color. Is there any significance to this?
Yes, we all dream in color. However, some of us will have a very specific color that will stand out, that will make it seem like the rest of the dream was black and white by contrast to that bright color. Although some people that are older that grew up with black and white television, black and white movies, will have dreams that will feature kind of a black and white kind of a feeling to it. But the reality is that there is some color. It just might be muted by contrast to some of the colors that show up very vividly.
This is from Cassandra, and I know that you get this question a lot, and you and I have actually talked about this, but it always needs to get addressed over and over again. Sure. And that is, can two or more people synchronize their dreams? You know, how do you do that? Do you discuss it before you go to bed?
Yeah, there's people that do this, that really do it as an art form. There's even people that are working in and for and around the government or the United Nations that are working on things as we speak, that are very highly skilled. So I think it, like with me, it's never been an on-purpose thing. It's always been on accident. And I have actually, in some of my dream groups, we've plotted and planned to do it. And some of us do report having these beautiful tandem experiences. So yes, you can do that. And one great way to be able to get into that groove with somebody is to meditate with them, whether you're physically connected and close or not in physical proximity. Meditation is a really great practice to getting on the same wavelength with that person, as a great preparation for being able to tandem dream together.
And could you almost have a script? Like, okay, tonight we're going to go to Egypt, and I am going to do this, you're going to do that. Well, you know what I mean? And actually have a list of bullet points that are goals?
I think that for very advanced lucid dreamers, I think you can certainly do that. I think for most people, if they're going to have a lucid dream, I think that it's enough just to stay in the dream and not be so excited that you pop yourself out of the dream. But you might as well have some kind of a plan, because it is exciting when you become lucid and when you're with somebody. It's so exciting that you might just freeze. So it is good to have a plan, but also know that the dream has its own wisdom. So you don't want to micromanage it within an inch of its life. You want to also make room for the magic of the dreams that tends to have an intelligence that far outweighs whatever we could come up with consciously on this realm. So have a humility about that and be open to what the dream magic might also bring.
And let's go back to the phones. Area code 607, and thank you. Welcome to the program, and thank you for being so patient and waiting on hold.
Mm-hmm.
You're live.
Hi, Jimmy and Kelly.
Hi, you're live.
Hi.
Yeah, this is JK from New York.
Hi, JK.
Hey, JK.
Well, I kind of have a problem. I don't dream that much, hardly at all anymore, but when I do, it's always I'm running away from something or someone, or being shot at or fighting, or it's always within an unseen force, or I can't see what's chasing me or trying to kill me or whatever.
Yeah, Kelly, you've never heard this before, have you?
Never in my whole life. This is the first time ever. But I think it's interesting that you led with, I don't remember my dreams, and then except for when I have, and then you have this long list of dreams that you do remember. So it sounds like you do recall dreams, but they're not necessarily pleasant. And but here's the thing: with any chasing dream, running, shooting, I would say there's something unresolved that is trying to find resolution, and you can expedite that so that you can move on to more pleasant dreams by doing some of what Jimmy and I were doing earlier in the show, which is the finishing the dream, where you can go back into the dream where you're being chased. And even in a meditation, you don't have to be lucid in the dream. You can be awake. Turn and face the thing that's chasing you, but pause it so that you can get a really good look at what it is, what it's trying to do, and you redirect the dream in a way that gives you the mastery, gives you the power, so that you're not running from anything, because more often than not, the thing that's chasing you actually has a gift for you, and a gift of your own empowerment that you might be missing out on by running away from it, as strange as that might seem.
JK, thank you for the call, man, and I hope that helps you. As strange as it seems, you need to turn it. Yeah, you need to turn and do that.
Well, I didn't finish that one just recently because but I saw what it was this time. There was grizzly bears chasing me, and the funny thing is, a Jimi Hendrix song was playing, "Sown Free." And I thought the only way to stop him was to sing the song and try to calm him down. But the last line in the chorus is "Got to Get Away."
Right.
And I started singing it. The dream ended.
Well, there you go, JK. But you know what? Call me back in a couple of months and let me know if that dream stops. Right? Because it sounds you turned around and faced it. So
this is one of the cool
Thanks
things.
A lot,
We haven't talked about this because I think a lot of people these days are having big animal dreams, and I think it's because it's as we are moving toward becoming a more awakened species. I think we need to incorporate more of our animal nature. So there's a lot of people running from big animals in their dreams when really what JK did was find a strategy for how to face the animal. And in many ways, I think the gift in that dream is to incorporate some of that grizzly bear energy into the body, into JK's life. I think that these big animals are saying, dude, you're so powerful and you're running away from your power. Stop doing that and learn how to face it. And the music is a great way to tame the savage beast and create some oneness. It's beautiful.
Okay, this comes from Gabriel. Gabriel wants to know, this is so interesting, that what is going on when he wakes up from a dream, but he wakes up from the dream into a dream, wakes up from that dream, and he's in a dream, and he goes through it 3 times before finally getting to reality. Dreaming within a dream within a dream.
Oh, I love this. Well, first of all, I think every dream, whether it's 3 layers deep or wherever it is, it's all a reality. It's not just a dream, and there is a consensus reality that we all agree to in this realm, but every layer of the dream has its own reality. And if you ever saw the movie Inception, they did a really masterful job at talking about the layers of dreaming. And often the deeper the layers go, the deeper and closer to your soul you're getting, and the deeper you're getting to that kind of Pandora's box that's within you, that's got the answers to the questions that you're seeking, or that treasure that's been eluding you. It's often the deeper you go. So the more layers you get to, the cooler it is. So I think that's awesome, even though it can be a little disconcerting and frustrating, but there's a lot of a power that you get when you go that deep in dreams.
One last phone call. Area code 918.
All right.
You're up. Area code 918. You're live.
Hi, Jimmy. This is Marilyn. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Marilyn.
I'm Marilyn. What you been dreaming about?
So it used to happen before. I know this is awful, but I know when I first moved in with my boyfriend, the first year we started dating, I used to dream about him cheating on me. I've never had any concerns or problems about that. But yeah.
So that's okay. So you want to know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly.
Yeah, no, this is great. This is like actually this question, Marilyn, is the whole prompt why I wrote my book, The Love, Sex, and Relationship Dream Dictionary. It's to answer questions like this because I was hearing so much of this, and I had so many of my own, by the way. So I think with any dream,
wait. You were dreaming about your husband cheating on you.
No,
Okay.
in relationship, I've never actually dreamt that my husband was cheating on me, but ex-boyfriends. Earlier, I had many dreams that my exes were cheating on me, and one of them actually was recurring, and it continued to get more and more detailed. And so I kept asking him about. I'm like, oh, so now you're in a hotel room, and now this is what's happening. And I saw him turn as white as a ghost, and I was like, okay. So gotcha. So it turned out I was seeing reality. So this is rare, though. Mostly our dreams are symbolic. However, every once in a while, our dreams are showing us something that we need to see. So when it comes to a dream like this, how are you supposed to know if it's actually happening or if it's symbolic? The only way you can know is to check it out. Run it by the guy that you're seeing, and if he turns as white as a ghost when you tell him about the dream, then you know there may be something going on. If that's not the case, if you feel like, no, this is a trustworthy person, then consider that the dream is symbolic. And everyone, from one perspective, everyone in the dream belongs to the dreamer, is a part of the dreamer. So we could ask the question, where might you be cheating on you? Like, are you cheating yourself out of an opportunity? Are you not fully honoring yourself? Because, the boyfriend in your dream could be the masculine aspect of yourself that's not honoring the feminine aspect of yourself. So where you not maybe taking good enough care of yourself, that kind of thing. So it's either way, it's an unpleasant dream, but our dreams are always our ally, always on our side, trying to help us be more balanced. So don't necessarily blame the guy just because you had that dream. My husband has dreamt that I've cheated on him, and I'm completely faithful.
Well, what about, do you confront?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay. So
I wouldn't say confront. I would just say share. Like, hey, I had this dream and this is what happened. And then remain as neutral and as curious as possible without making any accusations. Because I know so many people walk around pissed off at their partner when their partner's innocent. They didn't do anything.
Right.
It was your dream, and you're working out an aspect of yourself where you might feel like you're out of balance or out of sync or not in harmony with yourself. But you need to be open to the possibilities and check it out, but remain curious. If it's a recurring theme, then it's worth drilling deeper, either on the symbolic aspect or maybe time to do a little snooping. Don't say that I told you so.
Well,
that's what I did.
I got to know, Marilyn, did you throw the hint?
No, I didn't, but we discussed this a couple days back about cheating and stuff, and I told him, I'm like, I don't think you're the type to do that, and he just kind of laughed. He's like, and I was like, okay,
All right. So
was that a satisfying? Was that a satisfying?
Because his mom has always told me he's the one that goes through that, so I wouldn't think he would be.
Okay, so you bought what he was selling, and you guys are cool.
Good.
Yes.
Right?
We are.
Very interesting.
Good. Well, then look at the symbolic aspect and look at where might your dream be prompting you to up your game regarding honoring yourself, taking care of yourself, making sure to not cheat yourself out on an opportunity that comes your way. Make sure that you treat yourself with honor. I would say that may be the message of this dream.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask one more question or no?
Well, it's got to be really quick because I've got 1 minute.
Okay. So I've had dreams, normal dreams where it just feels like a dream, and then there's the dreams that feel real. Like, is there any meaning to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think most of our dreams, while we're in them and having them, they do feel real. But I think the ones you're talking about are the ones that are like super real, hyper real, where you can taste it, touch it, smell it. To me, those dreams simply mean pay more attention. They have more vibrancy because they're trying to get your attention because they've got more to say, and they're worth paying attention to. They may be the dreams that will change your life if you do pay attention to them. I think the more vibrancy, the more we need to pay attention to them.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
All right. Good night, people.
Good night.
Good
Sweet
night.
dreams. Sweet dreams.
Now, what a great night on the show, Kelly, by the way. I mean, all of the calls were great. And for you, what's coming up? Are you speaking, television, books? What's going on?
Yeah, well, I have a new Dream Oracle deck that's coming out in November on Blue Angel. It's called The Hero's Journey Dream Oracle, and I'm really excited about this. It's beautiful. It's with Rasuli, the artist. It's gorgeous. I've got a new radio show. It's on unity.fm. It's called Ask Dr. Dream. And that's a lot of fun. I do a Facebook Live show with a friend of mine. So we call it, it's every Tuesday at noon Pacific, called Dreams Unzipped with Dr. Dream and Nancy T. And I have a journey that I'm taking people to Teotihuacan, Mexico, that incorporates dreaming. It's amazing. And that's coming up in January, early January. So I'm going to have something on my website, Kelly Sullivan Walden, about that. Also, I'm taking people on a dream journey to Peru in April 2019. So got those coming up, and probably some other things that I'm not aware of. If people are interested in learning about how to become somebody who integrates dreams into their work, into their coaching, into their healing or psychic practice, whatever that may be, they can check out Dream Life Coach Training to find out more about that. Those are most of the things that are happening in my world.
You're very busy.
Mostly I am, but it's great to get to be with you, Jimmy. And I hope Rita's listening. I love her. Give her a giant hug. And I hope that she keeps up her dreaming, and you do too.
I can't.
Maybe I'll see you on Mars one of these days.
Yeah, totally. I can't imagine. There is something about locations that, they're very special, and you get to go and spend the night at different locations that have a lot of energies behind them. And I can't imagine what it would be like to dream in Peru. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, that just sounds amazing.
Oh my Lord. Oh we have some indigenous elders that we're going to be working with. There's going to be some. You don't even have to do dream work there. You could just walk in these places and you're going to feel the energy. But to bring dreaming into it and to be working with the people that live there, that have been practicing this, and it's in their heritage for thousands of years. There's a depth that is, it's life-changing. It's one of those crucible experiences that will be truly life-altering, taking dreams and taking a person's trajectory in their life on an expedited experience. It'll be taking it to a whole new level. It'll be a lot of fun, life-changing, so much fun.
Yeah.
I hope you can come.
Oh,
maybe you
man,
and Rita
I
can
would
join
love
us.
to. I
That'd
would
be
love
awesome.
to. And all of the information is over at kellysullivanwalden.com.
Yes, it is. All of it's there. And you can get a free dream declaration, meditation, and a bunch of other free dream gifts from me from signing up on my website at kellysullivanwalden.com.
Thank you so much, Kelly. And give my best to Dana, will you?
I will. Oh, my God, Jimmy. Thank you so much for having me. Give Rita the biggest hug. And I hope you guys have super sweet dreams tonight. Thank you for letting me be on.
Yeah,
it's always like church being with you, Jimmy.
We're going to go dream right now, Kelly.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Dreams.
Have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
KellySullivanWalden.com, and all of the information is right there, and all of her books and everything is right there, and you can reach out to her directly. So there you go. Thank you so much, Kelly. What an amazing conversation tonight, and I want to thank everybody that called in too as well. I tried to. The phones were completely, as you can imagine, are still jammed up. And I want to thank everybody that called in. Twitter was on fire, too, as well. And tomorrow night is open lines. It's Fader night with John Rappaport and his No More Fake Newsroom live, followed by open lines all night long. We have so much that has been going on this week with our community, and I look forward to everything that is going to happen tomorrow night on Fade to Black. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. It's simple. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. Fade to Black's executive producers Rita Camarion. Shows produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. It's broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Thank you to Kelly Sullivan Walden. Tomorrow night, Fader night, open lines all night long. Until then, I want everybody to be safe. Go Beckley Tepe.